Oh my gosh, mess. Hey, it's your girl Kdiddavis coming back out to you one more time. So, as you can see from the title, it's for the plus size girls. I feel like I have a different perspective than most, I think, plus size women, because it seems like it takes over their life. Like, I don't even think that I'm plus size. Like, yes, I know I'm fat. If you didn't know, I ain't fat. By looking at me, me fat. All right, me fat. Don't mind me. So, okay, let's start off with this. Growing up, I wasn't fat. So a lot of people, I feel like, a lot of people are fatter when they're older, like fat when they're older. Most times they're fat when they're younger. So they have the whole thing of like bullying, and people make fun of them because they're fat, or a lot of different things. And I just never got the appeal to it. Like, I didn't even, guys, to me, plus size and fat is not even size 14 pants. Like, because when I was that in high school, I didn't consider myself fat. I consider myself just normal. Like, you know what it is? In my life, I think the world revolves around me. So wherever I am, everybody else is like the wrong people and I'm the right one. So it could just be the way I think of myself. And I think, you know, but in my home, okay, if you didn't know, I came from a Jamaican household. So if you are anything over 2 pounds, you're considered fat anyway. So I didn't take the ideal, like, the way of thinking in my life. But I'm like, even when a person's skinny, there's other days too skinny. You need to eat more food or you're too fat. You need to lose some weight. Like, pick a struggle. Pick a struggle you need to have a problem with, because it's too much. It's too much. So I used to be called, like, I used to call a lot of names in my house. But when I was younger, I wasn't even fat. I was like size 8 pants. You're fat. What? So I used to hear it, but I just never, like, I'm a person, words just don't bother me like that. Like, you would think, like, it should, but it just don't. Like, who cares what you think? I care what I think. I care what God thinks. But I care what he thinks first, then I care what I think after, you know. If I have my boyfriend, or my husband, then I care what they think if I have one. But I don't. I'm just saying. That's what I would, you know. Yeah. So, you know, what they said shouldn't even matter, but you think of yourself. You feel me? God made you in this, you know, you was not, yeah, blessed and highly favored, yada yada, bang bang, shebang bang, okay? So, so I didn't grow up with this idea, like, having this, oh my gosh, I have to sneak and eat food. I never had that. So in high school, I came in 9th grade. I've been the same height since grade 6. I have never gotten any taller. So I'm 5'7.5", right? Okay. That's how tall I am since the grade 6 until my big age now, right? So in grade 9, I started high school. I remember the exact pants was like this. I want to say bleached out, and it was like tight, and at the bottom it had a little small flare, not like a big flare, and I had to cut the side. I remember those pants exactly. Those pants I remember wearing to school in 9th grade. I don't say the first day of school, second day of school, one of the two, and it was size 8. I started high school size 8, and to my grandmother, well, she's not really my grandma, but I call her grandma, she considered that fat. Most people feel it's probably like 150 pounds because I'm so, I didn't even know I was tall. Like, I didn't know I was tall until last year. Like, in my mind, God thought average people were my height. Apparently, they're not. When I Googled it, you know, Google's not everything. You can find a lot of things on Google. You're like, oh my God, I have the sniffles, and you go for something, you're dying from me, like cancer. So Google, take it some time with a grain of salt. But it says the average woman is not 5'7". I'm like, what? The world revolves around me, but it's not revolving. Like, I was like, I didn't think I was tall. I didn't think I was fat. Like, these are things. They have like body dysmorphia, like kind of thing, and people see their self somewhere different than like it actually is. So. KK, girl, get it together. I'm trying to watch it. Yeah, but I said no.
You said yes.
Katanya.
You said turn it down.
Katanya, you can put it on a 0. If you put it on a 0, sure. If I can hear it, it's a problem. You see me filming. Like, she has a whole room for herself. She has her own things, and she's in the kitchen with me. With me. The baby has my room. Katani has her own room. Why I can't have the kitchen? Why I can't have the kitchen? Like, Give me a break. Give me a piece of that Kit Kat bar. All right. So, what I was saying. I didn't know I was fat until I met my fiance. And by then, I had lost a little bit of weight from my wedding. At the time, if you don't know, I used to be married. I'm divorced now. But I didn't know I was fat until then. Like, people saw me as fat, but I never saw myself as fat. Probably body dysmorphia. I don't know. But I saw myself in pictures, and I'm like, before I saw myself in pictures, I saw a regular person. But now I see them like, dang, I'm a lot of weight there. Like, I see different than what I actually see in the mirror. But I don't know. It's like, it's so weird. I just never... All right, so now I join these plus size groups. I'm like, if I'm plus size, I might as well join the plus size group. Be part of the plus size thing. And I'm watching some plus size YouTubers. And I feel like the struggle they had in life, because it's so much different than mine. Like, I never had the fat girl problems. I never felt like I'm the fat friend. Like, I never felt these things. So I'm just never... It's out of my range of thinking, because I feel like I'm in a rose-colored glasses. People never been racist towards me. So it's like, I could say it doesn't exist because it never happened to me, but I would just be ignorant, you know. I can't say people are not fatphobic. I can't say people are not racist, because I know it's out there, it just never happened to me. Which I'm blessed and thank you, God. Probably I wouldn't react properly, so God don't bring certain things to me. Because it's like, it's not for me, it's for other people, because I can't. Like, people say, oh, I used to work at Forever 21 Times Square. People said, oh my gosh, I always had bad customers, or at BMCC. I can get into that. I just told you where I used to work. I'm getting too friendly with you guys. I'm not even gonna edit it out either. Anyway, people have like people come in acting crazy. If a person start acting crazy with somebody else and might try to act too, I'm like, Bobby, so what do you need? How's your day? And if you're nice, I'm like, I could be friendly with you, give you the same energy. But if you're gonna be loud and crazy, so what do you need today? Can I help you with something? I'm just so. I don't know. I never had a bad customer. Like, Forever 21, granted, I initially worked for stock, so I didn't see as much customers as other people. But when they needed people in the because you know, when you work at these retail stores, you don't only work at one thing. You work at many different things, especially if you're a girl. I feel like the guys, most of the time, just worked in the back, majority of the time. But I worked at different places in the store. The only thing I didn't do was register, which I don't want to do anyway. I don't want to do it anybody money except my own money, alright? So, I never had a bad experience with that, but that's not even the point of the facts, right? So I started high school, size 8 pants, about 185, 180 pounds. But I didn't look that way if you look at pictures. I look much smaller than that because this is my height and the way my body carries fat. So yeah. Everybody's body's different, and I'm apparently taller than average. Anyway, so I started high school. I had cataract, had surgery. I was on a lot of medication. Medication had me gaining. I had to eat more than I usually ate also, because I had to take meals with all my medication. And I had at one point I was like on 14 pills. 14 pills. So imagine to have to eat. So one time, one of the medicines I take like a lot at one time. So it was like I was eating 14 meals, but it was like a different, you know, patches in a day. So I have to eat much more than I'm used to. My body's even used to, so I gained a lot of weight. When I think I finished 9th grade around like size 14 pants. You know, that's kind of high there. Kind of high. But even when I size 14, size 16, I just never consider myself fat. Like, I just never did. I never consider myself plus size. Like, I know the world sees me like that, but I never saw myself like that. So I feel like I asked a question on here about, do you want me to do plus size content? And honestly, I'm gonna have to look at other YouTubers to see what they put out there. And I like copy, but honestly, a lot of stuff on YouTube is repetitive. You just have to put your own spin on it, so it's not like you're saying somebody's stuff verbatim. But the thing about it at the end of the day is that probably I was in this group in Facebook. I was saying before, I kind of, you know, got sidetracked and what's not. So I was in this group of Facebook, and this girl was like, who wanna be friends? Can I find it? Who want to be friends, and it's like a traveling plus size group. Who want to be friends kind of thing. I want to go on trips with you. I want to go with like bigger people, basically. That's basically the gist of it, right? And I was like, is it really different traveling with a plus size, a smaller person than a plus size person? Because I just, everybody I travel with always has been smaller than me, so I never seen a problem I never see the problem with the activities that we did with me and them. Granted, I only did one trip since I've been this big, and that was last year at Niagara Falls, and there wasn't that much stuff to, like, rides and stuff to go on, so it could be just different. When I've been on other stuff, like going to more strenuous activities, I was like 250 pounds, 240 pounds, so it's not as much different than if you're 300 or 400 pounds to travel, I believe. Apparently you need airplane extenders to extend the seatbelt. You need zip lining. I think it's only go up to 250 pounds. At that point I can't go on, but I've been on zip lines, so I had the experience before, so I'm like, I'm not really missing anything, but zip lining is actually pretty fun. I'm just saying, I could lose about 60 pounds just going zip lining. I'm just saying, because you want to drop, it's too far to drop from the sky. You zip lining, that's not a thing you want to have in your life. That's not the kind of troubles you want to have. So you want to click from the sky. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna look for it. I'm gonna look for it, but I'm not gonna look for it. Basically, she's saying, yeah, skinny people don't understand this, the certain things you can't do. Da da da. God, I think it was only one thing that me being fat I couldn't do, and that happened literally last year. Like, but I just never, you know, it was one thing. I went to rides at American Dream Mall in the Nickelodeon one, at the water park, the Nickelodeon one. And one of the rides I couldn't go on. I had to let KK go by herself, and I was so sad. I felt bad for her. They couldn't push it down on my legs. My legs too chunky. I'm chunky, my kid. But I was like, dang, I'm being fat really, you know, really got me not going on these things with my child, not experiencing something, and I don't want that to happen. And I was trying to lose weight, about, you know, still eating the chips, and the candies and what's not. But it's just like, for some people, because everybody have a different struggle, I think that's what it is. Some people, being fat took over their life. I mean, it's like everything they do, they think about is being the big, being this. I never knew. Like, I'm telling you, I went through high school. I didn't think I was a big person. I think in people's eyes, they saw me as that, but I never see it in their eyes. I see myself as like wonderful, amazing, the best, the cutest. You know, I wasn't looking the best. I was thinking I was the best anyway. Because that's how I feel like, even if you're not top tier for somebody, you top tier for yourself, girl. You better just, you gotta shred your stuff and, you know, do you, be in your own world. Because if I feel like you live outside of your world, that's when these things of how society sees things really affect you. And I think that's why it hasn't affected me in per se, because me not let it affect me at all, you know. So after high school, live my life, still, you know, the same thing. I think I left high school probably size 16, the highest I think I was size 16, to be honest. Then in my 20s, I was, you know, good to go. Same around the same thing also. And then I met my fiance, my boyfriend, their fiance, their husband. He's Jamaican. If you didn't know, he's Jamaican. And he had a thing called me Fluffy, because they love calling, one thing in Jamaica, they're big girls, Jamaica don't care. I can say Jamaicans don't care. You're fluffy, you're fat. They don't call plus size. Plus size is nice and very American. But you're fluffy, you're plus size, you're big. They call it, mostly I think the guys bigger is more like, you know, like that kind of thing. They don't care. Like, if you're too dark hair, blacker, that's your thing. And I can say that I have an uncle named Blacker. He's dead now. I was like, God rest his soul. I don't know if he's saved when he dies. I can't even say that. But not even the point. You're just like, wherever you are, that's what you're gonna be called. Brownie, brown skin, this and that. I've been called brown and thick girl. Like, I've been called a lot of different names for being fat in Jamaica. And the thing about it, because I'm into the culture, it didn't even bother me, because I never saw myself, like, even if saying that, that's how I probably wouldn't even recognize you talking to me, because I'm like, I don't consider myself that. So I don't take on what you're giving me. You might give me that stereotype, but that's not the stereotype I'm taking in, you feel me? I make myself how I want to make myself, and that's how it basically what it is. So yeah. So he used to call me that. So I think when he started calling me that, because I love him, that's when I actually started putting down that name for myself. Like, I was like, obviously I have to shop in plus size section, because I can't be, you know, but I wasn't really call myself that, because I'm like, I wasn't put myself in that category. I was just like, with thick girl, I'm like, got a little tiny, got a little belly. I'm like, so, you know, that's how I saw myself. But as I got older and I now got bigger and bigger and bigger, now I consider myself fat. But it is what it is. I'm happy with the skin I'm in. I do need to lose weight, because it's not good for your knees and your hips. But other than that, I'm happy. I'm happy being me. I'm happy being big. I'm happy being voluptuous. Get out here trying to come to my stuff mess. I'm happy to be the person I am, like, you know, who I am. No matter what God give me or whatever I am. If I was fully American, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm fully American. I think what it is, anything what God has given me, I take it and make it my own and make it the best thing ever. Like if I was fully American, I'm like, oh my God, I'm fully American. But I'm Jamaican. Technically, I'm born here. My family's Jamaican, so I don't consider myself really American. Tell me what you think. But I'm very hyped to be Jamaican. Like I'm very like, I'm Jamaican. I'm first generation. I'm be telling people I'm like, I'm first generation American. I be so like. And no offense to people who are American or whatever, but I'm just so, I feel like when you're half and half, you feel almost torn because it's like you're really not American. I don't know the American struggles. I don't understand their white water fountain black, like I understand the concept of it. I understand, like, you know, but I don't understand the Jim Crow law. Like I learned this stuff in school. My family didn't experience it because when I ask my mother about these things, she doesn't understand. Like she never learned American history here either. My mother didn't go to school here. My father, I don't know what the hell he did. I doubt he went to school here. I don't really know. I honestly don't really care at this point. I know who my father is. I'm just saying. But my mom, she had no stories to tell me. And I was telling my other Jamaican friend, because she's actually born there. Her whole family is there. But she's here now. And her majority of her family is here. And she said, yeah, it's like they want to talk about like American people, like what I like about American people, especially people down south, like I feel like that's like core America, is that they tell their kids about like back in my day, chips was 25 cents and Jim Crow laws and the blacks, and like they have such a story and is enriched to tell. Jamaican people don't talk about nothing. The most they'll tell you, I didn't have shoes to go to school and I had to walk school barefooted 20 miles. Like, can I know a little bit more than that? Like, can I know a little bit more than you bringing a goat every morning before you go to school to a different pasture? Like, can I know a little bit more how the economics was? Like, it's a disconnect. The way we raise our kids, I feel like is different. Also, the way we grew up and the way we, like America. It's like I'm always trapped. Because technically, my birth certificate says I'm born here. My passport, when you look at it, doesn't say different country. Because you know when you like come from a different country, I believe it says that country come from initially on the passport. I believe. Am I going crazy? But I just feel like I'm just torn. Because I don't think I have any American bones in my body. But are you who you are based on where you're born or where your family is from? I honestly feel like it's where your family is from. If you have a disconnect, like if you was adopted out and you don't know nothing about that culture, probably not. But I feel like when my family come from granted I don't cook any Jamaican food because my mother didn't teach me. But it's like I grew up on that Jamaican food. Like I didn't grow up on American stuff until like probably like 15, 16 years old. Like I really didn't grow up on like really. I think my mother started making like probably macaroni and cheese in the pot when I was like younger with hot dogs. I think she learned from somebody else. My mother, like, they don't do that stuff in Jamaica. They have yellow yam, cassava, banana, ackee and sawfish. That's the kind of stuff I grew up on eating. I didn't eat ackee till I was my teenager. I was like, ackee is yaki. And I'm like, girl. But it's just like, those are the kind of things I grew up on. It's much different. Oxtail, curry gourds. Just different things like that. Rice and peas, I feel like every culture has rice and peas. So I feel like nobody can claim that. I think it's the way you make it and the way you season it up makes it different. But I just come from this to that, but I'm just saying. Anyway, so I never saw myself as a plus size person until probably my 20s. If you look at how much I weighed, I probably should have thought that way earlier, but it is what it is. I don't make labels of society bring me to a constant, because people really bring it and their mental health deteriorates because of the stuff that they are taking from society, and they're bogging down in their life. And I'm like, you're not take me down, society. You're not take me down. You're not take me. No, it's not me. Not your girl Kdid. No. But that's what I'm thinking about that. So I'm a plus size girl. I don't think I have any plus size experiences, but if you have any questions that you want me to answer as a plus size girl, probably, the thing is also, I'm a person who just kind of assimilates into things. So probably I'm doing the plus size things and not realizing it. So it could also be that. I've never been a skinny girl, unless I was sick when I was really young with the medicine they gave me when I was with my eyes. But I've been doing the things that I don't even realize. But if you have any questions, plus size dating, I never really dated like that. So I don't really have that. So. I did with this one guy. I should do a story about that. This guy, I think I met him in Panera Bread. He got me Panera and Starbucks. So I was trying to get outside my race too. I was trying to do a lot. I tried to do a lot at one time and too much. It was before Corona. Before it was in February or January of last year. I was doing a lot. Just trying to do a lot of dating apps. Yeah. I was doing a lot. So maybe I could do a thing about that and how that, if I remember, remind me if we got to this point of the video. And but yeah. So but yeah. That's pretty much that on that being plus size. It's a rant about a lot of stuff. So I hope you stay tuned. I hope you like this. I hope this pique your interest. I want to find a way to really connect with you guys, and I feel like I'm not doing that, but we'll see. Okay, we'll see.